When the last glaciers retreated from the heart of North America, they left behind a canvas of ancient riverbeds, fossilized life, and landforms that defy time. Beneath Nebraska's quiet plains lie prehistoric graves, stone towers once used as guides by pioneers, and windswept prairies so untouched they still carry echoes of the Ice Age. In a land most people pass through, few realize the stories buried in the dust, or the marvels rising silently from it. Nebraska is often seen as the middle of everywhere: flat land, open sky, and endless roads. But that simplicity hides a deeper truth. This state is a geological archive, a paleontologist's dream, a prairie kingdom, and one of the most important migration corridors for both wildlife and humans in North America. From the towering rock pillars that guided 19th century settlers to fossil beds preserving creatures from 12 million years ago, from the haunting remains of ghost towns to the vast rolling dunes of the Sandhills, Nebraska is far from empty. It's a state of wonder, you just have to know where to look. Join us as we uncover the most awe-inspiring and unexpected places in the Cornhusker State. These are the wonders of Nebraska. Rising dramatically over the plains of western Nebraska, Scotts Bluff National Monument has stood for centuries as a beacon for travelers crossing the Great Plains. Towering more than 800 feet above the North Platte River, these ancient bluffs were a critical landmark on the Oregon, California, and Mormon trails, guiding tens of thousands of pioneers westward. But long before wagon wheels carved deep ruts into the earth below, these cliffs were sacred to Native American tribes, particularly the Lakota, who saw the land as part of a broader spiritual geography. The rock itself is composed of layers of sandstone, siltstone, volcanic ash, and limestone, a vertical timeline of geologic history. Visitors can hike the Saddle Rock Trail, which winds up to panoramic views of the plains and glimpses of wildlife, such as bighorn sheep. And beneath the grandeur of the bluff lies a story of survival, perseverance, and the ongoing relationship between landscape and movement, a place where natural beauty intersects with one of America's great migration stories. Standing alone in the Nebraska plains, Chimney Rock rises nearly 300 feet above the North Platte River Valley, a lone sentinel of stone shaped by volcanic ash and relentless erosion. For centuries, it's been a landmark, first for native peoples, then for immigrants along the Oregon, California, and Mormon trails. To 19th century pioneers, its strange spire signaled both progress and danger. They were entering the rugged lands of the West. This iconic monolith isn't just a geological oddity. It's part of America's migration story, etched into diaries and journals. The surrounding bluffs and grasslands are also home to fossils and prairie wildlife, preserving a raw image of what westward travelers once saw. Along the banks of the North Platte River, where the prairie meets a surprising drop in terrain, lies Ash Hollow, a place of both natural refuge and historical weight. For centuries, it was a vital stop for Native Americans and later, for thousands of pioneers moving west on the Oregon, California, and Mormon trails. Ash Hollow offered water, shade, and a steep descent into the Platte River Valley. Wagon wheels left visible ruts in the soft limestone ridge still seen today, etched into the ground like ghost trails. The area also contains a prehistoric cave where archaeologists have uncovered tools, hearths, and human remains dating back 7,000 years, revealing that this hollow has sheltered travelers for millennia. Today, the park is quiet, rolling grasslands and bluff tops dotted with wildflowers. But beneath its surface is a trail worn by migration, survival, and story. It's not just a rest stop, it's a threshold. In the far northwest corner of Nebraska lies a place that feels completely alien. Toadstool Geologic Park is a surreal, windswept terrain of hoodoos, eroded cliffs, and balancing rock formations that look like stone mushrooms rising from the dust. Often called Nebraska's Badlands, this landscape formed through millions of years of wind and water stripping away soft sediment, leaving behind bizarre, sculpted remnants. The pale grays, pinks, and browns of the rock create a landscape that changes dramatically with the light, sometimes harsh and lunar, sometimes warm and dreamlike. Despite its remote location, it tells a quiet story of time, erosion, and endurance. Trails wind through dry washes and open plains where the land has clearly lost its topsoil and kept only its bones. There are no crowds here, no fences, just the wind, the stone, and the sense that you've stepped onto another planet. Cutting through the quiet hills and prairies of north-central Nebraska, the Niobrara River is one of the most biologically diverse rivers in the Great Plains. Flowing for 76 miles as a federally designated National Scenic River, the Niobrara winds through canyon walls, waterfalls, and forests that shouldn't even exist here. The river is a meeting point of ecosystems, where Rocky Mountain pine forests, eastern hardwoods, northern boreal remnants, and western grasslands all collide. Paddling its course takes you past over 200 waterfalls, including Smith Falls, the tallest in Nebraska. Conowers drift beneath sandstone cliffs, past bison herds and eagles overhead. The banks are dotted with fossil-rich cliffs and ancient burial sites, but it's the water that unifies it all, a gentle but persistent force cutting through Nebraska's hidden wild. The Niobrara isn't famous, but it might be the most beautiful river in the state. Tucked away in the Niobrara River Valley near Valentine, Smith Falls State Park is home to Nebraska's tallest waterfall. At 63 feet, Smith Falls cascades over a sandstone cliff into a cool, shaded canyon, a rare and refreshing sight in the Great Plains. To reach the falls, visitors cross a historic iron truss bridge, relocated from Vertiger in 1996, spanning the Niobrara River. A short boardwalk then leads through a microclimate that shelters unexpected flora like paper birch and hybrid aspens, remnants of the Ice Age preserved in this cool, moist canyon. The park offers more than just the falls. The Jim McAllister Nature Trail guides hikers through diverse ecosystems where 6 distinct ecological systems converge. For those seeking adventure, the Niobrara River provides opportunities for canoeing, kayaking, and tubing, with Smith Falls State Park serving as a popular stop along the route. Sprawling across more than 19,000 square miles, the Nebraska Sandhills are the largest stabilized sand dune system in the Western Hemisphere. But they don't look like a desert. They're alive with grasses, shallow lakes, and a quiet energy that pulses beneath the surface. Formed over 10,000 years ago by glacial winds, these dunes stretch in smooth, undulating waves, some rising over 400 feet. Held in place by native prairie grasses, they create a landscape that's as fragile as it is vast. This region is almost entirely free of cities, pavement, and light pollution. It's one of the last intact temperate grasslands on Earth, home to cranes, antelope, meadowlarks, and more stars than most skies will ever show. The Sandhills whisper. They don't seek attention, but in their silence lies one of America's greatest natural treasures, a prairie ocean that never stopped breathing. In northeast Nebraska, surrounded by cornfields and the whisper of wind through empty streets, lies a town with a population of exactly 1. This is Monowi, the only incorporated municipality in the United States with just a single resident. Her name is Elsie Eiler, and she's the mayor, the librarian, the bartender, and the only voter. She runs the Monowi Tavern, maintains the town's water and electricity, and keeps the town charter alive all by herself. Monowi once had a school, a post office, and 100 people, but like many rural towns, it faded with time. What remains now is a story of memory, resilience, and one woman's quiet stewardship over a disappearing piece of America. Visitors come not for spectacle, but for perspective, to see what community looks like when it's measured not in numbers, but in heart. In the middle of rolling prairie, without warning, the land opens up. A sudden chasm carved not by glaciers or earthquakes, but by water and time. This is Snake River Canyon, Nebraska's hidden rift. Here, the Snake River winds through ancient rock, forming a dramatic canyon over 250 feet deep, lined with steep cliffs, spring-fed creeks, and secret groves of aspen and cottonwood. It's a world apart from the surrounding grasslands, sheltered, alive, and often overlooked. At its heart lies Merritt Reservoir, a calm expanse that reflects both stars and stone. But even more dramatic is what lies downstream. Snake River Falls, Nebraska's largest by volume, wide, wild, and thunderous even in dry seasons. Few trails, fewer visitors, and yet, the Snake River Canyon is one of Nebraska's most geologically impressive and visually stunning landscapes. a place where the plains break open and the past flows through. At first glance, Omaha may feel like a modern city, rising in glass and steel from the banks of the Missouri River. But beneath its streets and bridges lies one of the most pivotal launch points in American history. This is the city where the Union Pacific Railroad began in 1863, where steel rails pushed westward and the dream of a transcontinental connection first broke ground. Omaha wasn't just a stop, it was the starting line. In its early days, it was raw, chaotic, and vital. Steamboats churned up the Missouri. Immigrants crowded into boarding houses. And by the late 19th century, the city had become one of the most important meatpacking and rail centers in the country. But its story didn't begin with railroads. This land has long been sacred to the Omaha people, for whom the river was life itself. The name Omaha means above all others on a stream, a reflection of both geography and spirit. The tribe remains active today, their history deeply entwined with the land, even as urban growth surrounds it. Modern Omaha is a city of layers. In the Old Market District, cobblestone streets and red brick warehouses have been reborn into art galleries, cafes, and jazz halls, echoes of its industrial roots, now filled with creative breath. The Durham Museum, set in a grand Art Deco train station, preserves the city's rail legacy with elegance and gravity. Omaha is not a frontier town anymore, but its bones remember. And if you listen closely, between the hum of traffic and the pulse of progress, you'll hear the echo of iron wheels, native drums, and river currents all moving in the same direction, forward. In Nebraska, the loudest things aren't the ones that move fast. They're the ones that have endured. Stone towers shaped by wind. River canyons carved over centuries. Prairie grass bending in the same direction it has for 10,000 years. This is a state defined not by spectacle, but by depth, where fossils sleep in the earth, where railroads launched a continent westward, and where silence still stretches farther than the eye can see. From Chimney Rock to Omaha's steel skyline, from Monowi's single heartbeat to the Sandhills' living dunes, Nebraska reveals its wonders quietly. You just have to slow down enough to hear them. If this journey gave you something new, something surprising, still, or powerful, don't stop here. Hit subscribe to follow the next trail with us. Share this video with someone who thinks they already know America's heartland, and let them see it through a different lens. Because wonder doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers from the plains.